Hey everybody, it's Kanesha here from boldlivingtoday.com. Happy almost end of 2018 and happy almost New Year. Such exciting time. I'm on vacation with my family. We've been having a really good local staycation, doing all kinds of slicing things, eating way too many things because we like to cook, using our fryer. Just really having a good time, and it's been fun to have my daughter home from New York from her second year of college. So we've been making things, we've been watching documentaries, we've been watching movies. Did anybody see Bird Box? We totally watched that. And then also Bandersnatch from Black Mirror, watch that. Whew, so many ideas, so many things to write about and to pontificate, but it's been a really good vacation, and I've been really proud of myself for staying calm during this holiday season. And calm was my word for 2018. I had a fun interactive quiz at the beginning of this calendar year where people could answer some questions and then get suggestions for their word for the calendar year. And mine was calm because 2017 was a bit rocky, even though it was good business wise, but just overall it felt kind of wonky. And then 2018, I really wanted to focus on taking good care of myself, being calm, having more fun, taking some risks in work, starting some new ventures and joint ventures with work, and just being more calm. So earlier this week, I think it was this week, I'm just so foggy on what day of the week it is. I do know it's Sunday though. I talked about my Power Up jar from 2018, and I said I might do a Facebook Live around it if I had time. With what we were having going on with the family. So we've just had a lull in the day. My husband and I were out and about earlier, had some brunch, did a little shopping, played some games. Do you ever take those card games with you when you go to brunch or lunch or, a casual dinner with your partner or your husband or spouse? So my husband and I like to do that, and we have a little game time. So we played this new game called Game of Phones. Yeah, Game of Phones, kind of like Game of Thrones, but Game of Phones. So it was fun to play that while we were having brunch. So it's been a really nice, relaxing flow to the day. And then this just seemed like a really good time to fit in the Facebook Live before I'm back in pajamas and we're watching more TV shows and movies off the Golden Globe nominee list, because that's how I'm curating what I watch over this vacation. Anywho, but I wanted to talk about my Power Up jar. And those of you who've been following Bold Living Today for a while know that I'm huge into journaling. I'm huge into doing creative ways to kind of track life data so that when you're making decisions or you feel like you're having a challenging time or you want to look at accomplishments, you have this nice body of work so you can look at patterns, you can look at themes, you can kind of get your own easy assessment of what's going on with you and for you in those times. So usually I do a happy jar. My daughter and I usually do it, and we will write one thing per day for the 365 days or the 366 days if it's a gap year. No, not a gap year, a leap year. Oh my gosh. College on the brain. 365 things each day, or 366 if it's a leap year, and then keep it in our happy jars. So my daughter's been doing her happy jar since she was in high school, and then she also took a concept tour in college, which is great. And so since 2018 was my year of calm, I decided that I didn't want to have to write something every day of the year. That just seemed like a lot to me, because I knew I was doing more journaling with my monthly journaling book club group. I was doing more journaling workshops. So I was having a lot of journaling going on, but I didn't want to have something that I did every day, every morning. And I do have, as part of my morning wake up routine, journaling. So I wanted to figure out a way to still do the jar concept, but make sure that I wasn't forcing it and that it was a real nurtured habit that would keep me happy, whole, bold, and nourished during 2018. So what I did was make a little template, something super simple on the computer, and I only wanted to spend at least 5 minutes, no more, on capturing my thoughts. So I came up with this little thing, and it had a little space for the week number. I had a power word for that week. I had a focus for that week, a fear for that week, like a space for a fear for that week, and then an 8-word pep talk. And so this was the same template I used each week. And then either on Saturday or either on Sunday or Monday to start my week, I would write it out. So what I'm going to do is pull out 10 random ones and just read to you what I was doing during that week, and then what I plan to do with these as I lay them out tonight and look over them tomorrow as well to get ready for 2019. And then if you have any questions, just let me know. Hey, Anita. Hey, Vanessa. I'm waving to you guys. Happy New Year. Okay, so the first one was from week 17, and my power word was hustle. Focus, clients, and workshops. So I must have had some events or something coming up that week. Fear, putting myself out there. I don't know what I was doing. And then my 8-word pep talk is life is to be lived fully. Keep going. So I imagine something was feeling a little challenging to me, and I wanted to, get a little pep talk around not having it be so hard. So that was week 17. Let's see. This other one, week 25, later in the year. Power word, togetherness. Focus, family time. Fear, not applicable. I must have not had any fears going into that week that were big enough to write down. 8-word pep talk. Make memories that connect and nurture. Be bold. So, yeah. And one thing I want to say about the 8-word pep talk, the reason I said 8 words is because, again, I wanted to keep this to 5-minute journaling. So I have to put limits on how many words I'm going to write because I can be wordy. So anyway, and then the other thing too is on some of these, if we get to them, if I pull them, you will see that on the 8-word pep talk, I wrote more than 8 words because, I'm the boss of me and sometimes I don't follow the rules. All right, here's the third one. Week 21, power word, milestone, focus, first year, college is done. So this must have been when my daughter was finishing her first year of college. Fear, not applicable. 8-word pep talk, celebrate big and small accomplishments. They all matter. Oh, love that. All right. Oh, digging deep in here. All right. Week 1. Oh my gosh, the first week of 2018. Power word, calm, focus, new year mapping, fear, another challenging school quarter. 8-word pep talk, new year with a fresh lens, keep calm. All right, so that was me getting on board with my whole 2018 theme. Ooh, so much change. We just had so many school challenges for my younger one, but we have pretty much figured that out. I'm feeling so much better and calm about that. But, it was a struggle, and I have to be honest with myself and write about these things so I don't keep them in my head and go crazy. All right, week number 12, power word, boundaries, focus, retreat, fear, taking on too much. Okay, 8-word pep talk, I changed it to 9-word pep talk. See, there I go. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. All right. Ooh, look at that. I need to do my nails. All right, boundaries. All right, so that was week 12. So how many do we have here? Okay, that's 5. I got 5 more to share with you here. And the other thing I want to say is some people like to do this electronically. It doesn't have to be on paper. I love paper. I love stationery. I love journals. So I like to see, as I add an entry to the jar, I like to see them fill up. I like how that looks. I like to use different colors. You can use Post-it notes, note cards, index cards, whatever is easiest for you. Okay, week number 44, power word, celebrate, focus, party time, fear, not applicable. 8-word pep talk, it's been a very busy, bold year, celebrate. Okay, Yes. Oh, another thing is you could do this with your family. It doesn't have to just be you. Maybe you and your family, everybody gets to contribute one a week if that works for you. And even if you have some young ones who can't quite write yet, they could draw something, or they could dictate it to you. You could write it down for them. So it's really flexible in how you incorporate this. All right, week 19, power word, surrender, focus, wellness, fear, results, and healing. Ooh. 8-word pep talk, let others worry for you right now, surrender. Yes, so this was around the time that I was taking good care of my body and I had to go get some medical tests. It turned out just fine, but at the time, a little nervous about it. So I'm calling myself out about worrying and let other people help me, and just focus on what I need to do and let other people worry about the other stuff, which is very hard for recovering overachievers, but I try. I work on it, work in progress. All right. Week number 5, power word, support, focus, wellness, fear, not showing up. 8-word pep talk. You've got this. You can do it. Go. So yeah, wellness seems to come up a lot in this year, and I'm sure that's going to be one of my overarching themes as I go through all 52 of these. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 2 more. 2 more, dos más. All right, week number 10, power word, bold, and I wrote that all in caps. Yay. Focus, new year. Okay. Fear, not applicable, not applicable. 8-word pep talk, a new year to actualize what's for you. Okay, I must have got some new news or something. The other interesting thing is if you go back and look at that week on your calendar and see what's going on, you can look at different things that had your attention or different things that you were focused on, and you can see if that was the right focus, if you needed to take it down a notch, if overwhelm was just totally taken over, if you weren't making really good decisions based on what you need, but based on what other people wanted. There's just so many things that I can tell you. All right, week number 36, power word, try, focus, new school, fear, new school. 8-word pep talk, just show up and be open, stay calm. So I'm like almost 1,000% sure that this must have been when our son, our youngest, was transferring to a new school. And yeah, there's some fear with that. And then there's also some excitement with it. So good to have it known and be out there. So these are just like 10 random ones I pulled out just to share with you. And of course, I got a bunch more to go, 42 more. But what I plan to do with this, I have these here. I'm excited to read them all. I'm sure my kids will want to see what they are too, which is great. You know, pretty open book. And I haven't written anything that, you know, is overly telling. And I don't mind them asking me questions because I want them to know how adults think about problems or think about celebrations or successes, and then how they talk to themselves. Because I want to be a really good model for my kid, not a perfect model, but a really good model for my kids on how to have these conversations with yourselves and how to support yourself and how to be honest with yourself and do better when you know how to do better. So something you can do with a power up jar, and you can call it something else if you don't like the words power up. It just gives me power. So that's why I named it that, no other reason. You could do one, you could write an entry monthly. You could do an entry every day. You could do it once a week like I did. You can do it based on map milestones. You get to decide the structure. So don't make it into something that's too labor intensive. You know, make it fit into your current life. Don't add it as extra add-on thing. Maybe try it for 30 days, see how you feel, or try it for 3 weeks, see how you feel. Pick the timeline and go for it. What I'm going to be doing in my Happy New Year newsletter that's going to come out on January 1st, Happy New Year, is have the template for these that you can download and use if you want to, or look at the template and then come up with your own. That's something that's a little bit more user-friendly for you, that works more for your life, and you don't have to put them in a jar. You can put them in an envelope. I like to upcycle things. If you have an old shoebox, an Amazon box from all the holiday gifts, or a shoebox from holiday gifts, turn that into the container for your little notes. And like I said, you can use slips of paper. You can do it on your mobile device. You can use index cards. You can use Post-it notes. You can cut up paper. It's just really supposed to be accessible, simple, and really easy to embed into your daily life. So I'm going to go through these tonight and tomorrow. I'm going to lay them out. I'm going to read through them to myself. I'm going to capture what I think different categories are. And off the top of my mind, I think the categories will probably be wellness, family, business growth. You know, there's day-to-day business growth for me. And then philanthropy, activism, and then probably something around relationships. Oh, and marriage, of course, marriage, always there. And so, which is important to me. And so what I want to do is look at the categories, see how many I've written in the different categories, and then get a sense of, do I need to kind of take that focus into 2019? Is it something I need to continue to focus on? Or have I gotten to a point where I think that is nice and stable and sustainable for now? So keep that current pace going without adding anything to it or taking anything away. So it really helps me in my goal mapping for the calendar year, so I know what to focus on and I can focus on the right things instead of trying to grasp for everything and think I need to overhaul everything. I got to change everything. It has to be a brand new me every day, each day. That's already exhausting. And a lot of people go, new year, new me. Fantastic. If that's what you think, that's what you want, I support you. But, in reality, it's the next day after the previous day. So it is a sense of newness, but we also have to be realistic about what we're managing in our lives and what we can honestly take on, what we can invest in, and what we can kind of get rid of. So having a system like this or anything similar to this is just a good way to collect your data, to collect your information, and then figure out what's the best thing for you to do next and how to focus on that without making yourself crazy, without making yourself overwhelmed, without making yourself exhausted before you even get started. So that's how I plan to use this. I'll talk more about that process in the January 1st newsletter. I will have the link to sign up for that if you're not already a subscriber, just in the comment section of this Facebook Live, so you can sign up for the newsletter. It's pretty fun, and it's always a tool in there for you, and always information about upcoming events, different things I'm doing, different things I want to share, and different ways I can support you. There was a newsletter that went out today that had an entire video series on how to wrap up 2018 easily and with yourself at the center of it all, and to get ready for 2019. So if you didn't see that newsletter, I'll send it out tomorrow morning on the 31st, so you can still register, subscribe, and get on the list, and I will resend that out on Monday. Yeah, the 31st is Monday, right? What day is it? Okay. And then the other thing I want to say is grabbing something. I have my guided journal, Focus on What Matters, and I've had several people use it. Everybody who attended my vision board party in January 2018 received a copy of this. And this journal is really focused on helping you look at something that's really important to you and to figure out how to get that rolled in to your daily life. So it's not just the calendaring system, because that's the confusion. I said it's more of mapping things out, like really. Thank you, Vanessa. The 31st is Monday. Thank you. I need help, girl. Thank you so much. So this guided journal is really helping you focus on paring down or starving your distractions, getting clear on what you need to be doing, having a plan and resources, and mapping those to what you're trying to do so you can really focus on what matters. So I'll be talking about this. I have a toolkit that I am redesigning. We used one in the spring, which was great. And then I got some feedback from some people. And of course, I want to make it better because I want it to be bolder. And that will be ready later in January. I think January 13th, if I'm remembering correctly. But that's all in the newsletter that went out today on December 30th. And so, in focusing on what matters, it really is about getting clear on what you need right now so you can get to your next step. So there's a lot of messages coming in at all of us about the new year, what we should be doing. And I just say, just take a moment and go at your own pace and going into the new year. You don't have to be on anybody else's timeline. You don't have to have anybody rush your process. And you don't really have to start on January 1st if you don't want to. That's okay. You take your time. I'm not really starting my new year until the 4th of January, which is like a Friday, because, all the vacation stuff is wrapping up. My family's my priority. My daughter's still home. And then, the 4th, I'll spend some time working and getting ready. I already have some things mapped out, and then I will tend to them, and then I will go into my inbox and I will do all those responsible business things. But, I am going to ease into the new year, into 2019. I'm going to pick my word for 2019. I'm going to help my readers pick a word for 2019, help my Bold Living Today community pick a word for 2019, and then map out what they want and journal about it, or, make a vision board about it, whatever they need to do on their own timeline and at their own pace. And sometimes it's good to let the new year start and then start mapping things out, because then you feel like you've had a natural break and a time to recalibrate to get back to work, if that's what you're doing, or get back to your regular schedule or whatever you have to deal with. So yeah, that's what's going on with Bold Living today and with me. And I just want to thank you all for helping me have a really, really stellar 2018. It's just really been fantastic, and again, exceeded my expectations. And I hit almost every goal that I set before myself for my personal life and my business life. And just feeling really good about it, and feeling ready to take on some newer things that expand Bold Living today and help me help more women and help more families, and really having time to make more creative things and opportunities for everybody who works with me. So stay tuned for all of that. I'm super excited to share with you. And let me know if you do something similar with a power up jar, happy jar, whatever you call it. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to see what you're doing. And if you are on Instagram, I would love it if you could like my page at Kanesha Baynard. We are almost at 1,000 followers, and I would love to get to 1,000, of course, or more, but to 1,000 followers before the end of January. So goals. All right, everybody, I'm gonna let you go, but of course, let me know what's going on. Oh, one of these fell out of the jar. Week 47, power word, reach out, focus, 2019 support for 2018 loose ends. Of course, fear list being too long. Gosh, I know myself. 10-word pep talk, because I couldn't keep it to 8. Don't take yourself so seriously, one brick at a time. Oh my gosh, this totally fell out randomly. I did not plan that, so that's a perfect segue for us to say goodbye for now. But hopefully you can check out the January 1st newsletter and get started at your own pace on mapping out your calendar year. Happy New Year, everybody. Stay bold, stay whole, and let's just stay connected and keep doing a good job of taking care of ourselves so we can make the world better. All right. Bye, everybody.